Welcome to Pets in Paradise TV, the show that explores the relationship between humans and animals in one of the most beautiful places on Earth, Hawaii. Here's what's coming up in the next half hour. We'll learn just what it takes to have a horse as a pet.
Getting a horse is not like getting a dog or a cat. It's a lot more like having a child.
We'll discover a new sport called canine scent detection.
They already know how to use their nose. We're just giving them a context and a parameters that's acceptable to us as people.
We'll race to the finish line and find out what wieners are winners. And we'll learn all about the toy fox terrier. Pets in Paradise TV starts now. Over the years, humans have been developing sports for their dogs. Competitions ranging from dock diving to sled racing, agility tests, surfing, hunting, and many more. But if your dog isn't an athletic jock, there's a new sport you may want to enroll him in.
It's the most fun I've had with dogs in 25 years, so.
There's no pressure, don't have to spend money on it, it's easy to do.
My dog enjoys to smell things out. Her nose is very strong, so we thought that this would be an activity that would be perfect for her.
Introducing canine scent detection, also known as nose work, scent work, and search work.
So you see what's happening with it is going under the vehicle a little bit. The little dogs have to work it out just tight. Good.
It's a fairly new sport that focuses on your dog's nose abilities.
The sense of smell in the dog is so powerful, and it's connected to so many parts of the dog's brain, emotional areas of the brain, how the dog feels, that we see a lot of great and positive changes in many dogs by allowing them the opportunity to explore this part of who they are.
Also helping in their search is a secret weapon that only animals have, the vomeronasal organ, most commonly known as Jacobson's organ. It's located near the nasal cavity and gives the dog an additional receptor, almost like they're tasting the air. You can tell that a dog is using his Jacobson's organ when he holds his mouth in a semi-open position that resembles a grin. The sport is essentially like hide-and-go-seek, where a dog uses their nose to search out a certain odor. In this case, it's birch oil, paired with a doggy treat for a reward.
So right now we're pairing the food with the odor so the dogs can get a quick reward.
Soon, the dog will associate the smell of birch with a food reward.
First thing my dog Luca did was to search for food, which he loves, and then after several months we added the birch odor. It's an essential oil, and we paired it with food. So now he associates the birch odor with his reward of food.
The end goal is to have the dog search for the odor, not the food reward. This same technique is also used in professional scent detection. Everything from bed bugs to human remains, bombs, or narcotics.
We're not teaching the dogs anything. They already know how to use their nose. We're just giving them a context and a parameters that's acceptable to us as people, so that it keeps them out of trouble and they get to have fun doing it.
A dog's sense of smell is their #1 method of gathering information. They have from 125 to 300 million scent glands, depending on breed, compared to our meager 5 million. All breeds of dogs can participate in the sport.
The concept of canine nose work is that it's accessible to as many dogs and as many people with as many different backgrounds and life challenges that we can possibly reach. We really try to embrace the animals that have sort of been shunned from other things that they do.
Although all dogs have an incredible sense of smell, their methods can vary, and it's up to their owner to encourage their own unique way.
So you can always tell what are going to be some of the search styles of the different dogs. Some are going to be get to source, stay there, and then immediately go on and find the next one. Other dogs are going to be more likely to stay at source. Start a little bit closer to the car. Just start a little closer to the car.
Now that they've mastered finding the odor in boxes, it's time to move on to something more complex. a vehicle search.
And we don't use boxes in the vehicle searches because the vehicle itself is a large container.
I'd bring him right up to the vehicle because he has no concept of what this is.
Scent detection is a game that creates a level playing field. It doesn't matter how big or small, how strong or shy your dog may be, they just need to rely on their survival instincts.
So now we have Bumper. Bumper is visually impaired. And what's interesting, you know, being blind, you would think that it would take longer for him, but he was probably one of the most efficient dogs here. You know, he doesn't waste a lot of time at all. Been blind since birth. So he's been in survival mode his whole life. He doesn't waste a lot of time and energy because that couldn't be the difference between life and death for a dog like that.
The sport of scent detection is gaining popularity across the country. And unlike other canine competitions, it's great for all breeds, ages, sizes, and abilities. It promotes confidence and gives the dog mental stimulation, which is ideal for shy, disabled, or older dogs. It's a sport that could be just right for your dog.
Ah, good dog.
Up next, find out what it's like to have a pet horse. Why is it that dogs greet each other by sniffing their butts? Because of their incredible sense of smell and special glands the dogs have in their rear ends, they can get information like gender, reproductive status, diet, and even clues about their emotional state. It may seem strange, but butt sniffing is simply a dog's way of shaking hands and saying hello. Welcome back to Pets in Paradise TV. Many of us have dreamed of owning a horse. In this segment, we learn just what it takes to raise a pet horse. Let's head out to Maunawili Stables on the east side of the Hawaii island, Oahu.
If you're thinking about getting a horse, there's a few things you should know before you get into it.
I'm going to get Sugar Plum ready for my riding lesson.
Getting a horse is not like getting a dog or a cat. It's a lot more like having a child. The responsibilities are pretty major.
Because owning a horse is a big responsibility, both in time and financially.
Horses need food, shelter, to be cleaned, and love.
For thousands of years, before the invention of the modern-day engine, people relied on horses to get around. These days, owning a vehicle may be cheaper than housing a horse. It's also a commitment that requires everyday TLC.
Well, the first thing you're going to need is a place for your horse to live. A lot of people like to keep their horse in the backyard, but I don't recommend that.
We keep my horse at a stable where they feed it and keep it safe.
Some places you can feed and water and muck the paddock yourself, and they're a little cheaper.
So if you take care of the horse yourself, it means it's an everyday thing. Whether it's raining, you feel sick, you have to still come. You have to feed at least twice a day.
But usually it's going to run you at least $100 a month, up to $600 a month for a place that provides full care.
The average 1,000-pound horse eats 15 to 20 pounds of food each day.
Horses eat a lot. As you can see, their feed comes in bags that are about 50 pounds. They cost about $15 a bag. Your horse can go through anywhere from 3 to 5 of these a week usually.
Horses also require regular medical attention.
This is a wormer. Horses get a variety of worms. They have really delicate digestive systems, and they need to be wormed every 6 weeks to 3 months. Depending on what type of wormer you use, it's best to consult your vet to find out what kind of system you should be on for your horse. Water is really important. Horses need at least 15 to 20 gallons of fresh water per day. If they don't get it, they can have a variety of health issues. So you want to make sure your horse always has access to plenty of clean water.
There are also various safety measures to be familiar with.
This is how you park your horse. This is a special knot. It's a quick release knot. In case of an emergency and you need to untie your horse, you can untie it really fast.
Another thing that's really important about horse ownership is foot care. The saying goes, no hoof, no horse. So getting your horse shod every 6 weeks is very important. Also keeping your horse's hooves clean, free of dirt and rocks. Horses are notoriously delicate in health issues. A vet visit can cost you anywhere from $50 to over $1,000.
But it's not all work. There's time to play too, which makes owning a horse worth it for many.
If you're still interested in getting a horse, here's some myths that you need to know about. First of all, a common myth is that getting a young horse for a young child is a good idea.
Sugar Plum is 30 years old and I'm 10 years old. That's a big difference.
Horses have an average lifespan of 25 to 30 years.
However, young horses require special care and training that most people need to be very qualified to give. It can be extraordinarily dangerous to get a young horse if you don't know any training issues, and especially a young, inexperienced rider stands a chance of getting pretty seriously injured.
One thing I've learned is that all horses have different personalities. Like Sugar Plum, she doesn't like to be brushed in her stall, and she's very friendly.
Within a breed, there are individuals just like there are in any group. So it's really important to check the age of the horse, the personality of the horse, the training and the background of the horse before you think about purchase.
It's different than owning a cat or a dog, which are predator animals. Horses are naturally prey animals, so they have behaviors unique to them.
They'll do a behavior called spooking, which means they think that something might be coming to get them from the bushes or a tree, or a lot of times it could be something flapping.
It's possible to get hurt. It can be dangerous just because they're bigger than us.
Any sudden movement might startle a horse, and it's a pretty major behavior if you're not used to dealing with it. Maybe before you consider buying a horse, perhaps take lessons or volunteer at a local equestrian facility or therapeutic riding center. At the very least, be sure to do your homework. Consult professionals on every aspect of horse care, feeding, management, and riding.
The most important thing you need is love.
So the bottom line is you have to really love horses and love what you're doing, because most of the time you're not riding down the trail having a good time. I mean, that is a very, very small part of owning a horse. The biggest part is all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, the non-glamorous part, and you got to be into it and enjoy it.
Just remember, it's a major investment, but like any big investment, the reward is that much greater.
Riding a horse makes me feel happy.
There are more than 500 dog breeds, ranging from the world's smallest, the Chihuahua, to the mighty Great Dane. Our goal is to pick one and learn all about it in It's All About the Breed. Today, it's all about the Toy Fox Terrier. The Toy Fox Terrier is a descendant of the Fox Terrier, but is now considered a separate breed. They were originally developed in America by crossing smooth fox terriers with different toy breeds, including miniature pinchers, Italian greyhounds, Chihuahuas, and Manchester Terriers. The result is a dog that's a hunter like a terrier, but with a mild disposition. The Toy Fox Terrier was first developed in the 1930s and recognized by the AKC in 2003. In addition to being very intelligent, they're great family pets and are outgoing, friendly, and very loyal to their families. They adapt well to apartment living, but love to be outdoors and like to hunt and play. They're good with children, although with any toy breed, it's best not to introduce them to very young children. Because of their extreme loyalty, the Toy Fox Terrier is often called a big dog in a little package and has an ego that will dominate almost every situation. Their intelligence, though, also makes them excel at other duties. Toy Fox Terriers are highly animated, comical, entertaining, and playful their whole life, and if trained right, they don't bark much. Although they love to hunt and play, they're also comfortable just relaxing. Toy Fox Terriers come in a number of colors: tricolor, which has a black head with tan markings over a white coat, the white, chocolate, and tan variety, white and blacks, and white and tans. As for health issues, the Toy Fox Terrier is considered a very healthy breed. Problems that may arise include periodontal disease, knee problems, and allergic reactions to some foods. When fully grown, they'll be 8.5 to 11.5 inches tall and weigh between 3.5 to 9 pounds. Their life expectancy is about 15 years. If you're interested in getting a Toy Fox Terrier, find a reputable breeder. Do your homework and make sure it's the right choice for you. And now you know all about the Toy Fox Terrier. In just a second, we'll find out just how fast these dogs will run for bacon. Out of the hundreds of different dog breeds, which one runs the fastest? Not surprisingly, the dog that's used for commercial racing is the fastest, the Greyhound, which can run at a top speed of just over 40 miles an hour. Welcome back. You're watching Pets in Paradise TV.
Whoa!
In this segment, we see how even the shortest four-legged dogs have the need for speed. And we learn a few facts about the dachshund as we take you to the annual Hawaii Wiener Dog Race.
We have here like hundreds of dachshunds here, and it's just a great event to see them all together. And
we are at the Wiener Race, and we're going to get our dogs a gold medal.
There's a lot more weenies on island than I thought there were.
The dogs put their speed to the test on this 70-foot course from start to finish. Some of the top competitors on Oahu are here to strut their stuff.
My dog is Frank. He's in Heat 5. He made it to the finals last year, and a dog ran him over, and so he did not win a thing.
I'm a pretty competitive guy, and actually we've been training him, so I know he's capable of winning it, so I'd like to see him do it.
This is Lady Belle. This is going to be our first Doxy Derby. Our secret to trying to get her to win is to yell as loud as we can.
Lady Belle! Lady, over here! Turn around, Lady Belle! Face the door!
Bye-bye! Dachshund is a German word that literally translates to badger hound. Because of their shape, they're able to hunt underground and are great at trailing scents. That trait dates back to the 1400s and is just as acute today as it was back then. But as you can see, that can also be a distraction on the way to the finish line. These popular races have over 100 participants and have to be well organized. Here's how it works. The dogs are put into starting gate boxes that match their bandana. Then the owners entice their dogs any way they can by calling their name or waving their favorite toy. And then they try to hold their attention as they walk down to the finish line. From there, the race is on and total chaos erupts. The first wiener across the finish line wins. Some of these dogs will go into a national championship race held each year where the fastest hot dog is awarded the Wiener National title. Yay! Some owners take unusual steps to motivate their dog.
With Frank, we practice with bacon. We actually fry bacon, and I rub it on my hands and on my arms, and I just run and make him run with me, and he follows me anywhere the bacon is.
And apparently, bacon did the trick for this top team.
I told you I knew what I was doing.
How important is this to you and your dog?
I don't think Frank cares at all. I care a lot.
Whether they're motivated by bacon, toys, or just love, these little guys don't waste time getting to the finish line. Just how fast are they running?
20, 25 miles an hour. Just a human can reach that fast, I think.
Definitely faster than I can run, and let's just say 5 miles an hour.
5-6 miles an hour at least.
I would say 15 miles per hour, 20 miles per hour for the little dogs. I mean, they're going.
Believe it or not, wiener dogs were bred to hunt and chase. They can run up to 15 to 20 miles an hour. But as you can see, the speed can vary from dog to dog. Wiener dog, or dachshund racing, is fairly new to the U.S. It started in Australia and spread to the U.S. in the 90s. Today, there are wiener races all over the country, and a national race is held each year in San Diego. These little dogs prove that size doesn't matter when it comes to wiener dog racing. It's all about having fun. Some of these little guys aren't able to run like their friends, though. Like some other breeds, dachshunds can suffer from hip dysplasia, and because they have such long spines and short rib cages, they could also have spinal problems. If you're thinking about entering your pet in a wiener dog race, you might want to check with your vet just to make sure everything's okay. Then the fun begins, and it's hard to tell who's enjoying it more, the wieners or their owners. These hot dogs are truly hot dogs when it comes to racing.